Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rosa Raslaina Gani, my in PM33. Okay. Good evening. In here, I will say thank you to my teacher who has given me time to tell you a presentation about listening skill. Okay, do you know listening skill? Listening skill is the most communication skill. We probably spend more time using our listening skill than any other kind of skill. Like other skill, listening takes practice. Real listening in an active process. Listening requires attention. Okay. Next, effective listening. Effective listening is actively absorbing the information given to you by a speaker, showing that you are listening and interested, and providing feedback to the speaker so that he or she know the message was received. Listening comes first. There is a 4. Number 1, listening. Number 2, speaking. Number 3, reading. Number 4, writing. Okay, next. Okay, materi number 1, objective of listening. Objective of listening, number 1, to learn. 2, to increase one understanding. Number 3, to advise or counsel. Okay, next. Definition concept. Definition of concept: to listen, we need to make a conscious effort not to just hear what people are saying but to take it, digest it, and understand. Not only does listening enhance your ability to understand better and make you a better communicator, it also makes the experience of speaking to you more enjoyable to other people. Okay, next, listening skill. What does it mean to really listen? Real listening is an active process that has 3 basic steps. Number 1, hearing. Hearing just means listening enough to catch what the speaker is saying. For example, say you were listening to a report or zebras, and the speaker mentioned that so true are alike. If you can repeat the fact, then you have heard what has been said. Okay, number 2, understanding. The next part of listening happens when you take what you have heard and understand it in your own way. Let's go back to that report or zebras. When you heard that no two are alike, think about what that thing means. Number 3, judging. After you are sure understand what the speaker has said, think about whether it makes sense. Do you believe what you have heard? You might think, how could the stripes to be different for every zebra? But again, the fingerprint are different for every person. I think this seems believable. Okay, next active listening process. Do you know active listening process? Active listening process requires you to listen attentively to a speaker, understand what they are saying, respond and effect on what being said, and retain the information for later. This keeps both listener and speaker actively engaged in the conversation. Okay, next type listening. Now, number 1 step, discriminative listening. Discriminative listening is the most basic type of listening, whereby the difference between different sound is in the TV. If you cannot hear difference, then you cannot make sense of the meaning that is expressed by such difference. Okay, number 2, comprehension listening. To comprehend the meaning requires for having a lexicon of words at our fingertip, and also all rules of grammar and syntax by which we can understand what others are saying. Number 3, critical listening. Critical listening is listening in order to evaluate and juggle, forming opinion about what is being said. Judgment includes assessing strength and weakness, agreement and approval. Number 4, basic listening. Basic listening happens when the person hears only what we want to hear. A typical misinterpreting what the other person say based on the stereotypes and other biases that they have. Such biases listening is often very evaluative in nature. Okay, number 5, evaluative listening. In evaluative listening or critical. Okay, next, number 5, evaluative listening. In evaluative listening or critical listening, we make judgment about what the other person is saying. We seek to assess the truth of what is being said. We also juggle what they say against our value, assessing them as good or bad, worthy or unworthy. Okay, number 6, appreciative listening. In appreciative listening, we seek certain information which will appreciate, for example, that will help meet our need and goal. We use appreciative listening when we are listening to good music. Putri of maybe even the steering word of a great leader. Okay, number 7, sympathetic listening. In sympathetic listening, we care about the other person and show this concern in the way we pay close attention and express our sorrow for their ill and happiness at their joy.